Hey there, how did you survive the holidays? I hope you did just fine. Jeff and I had a lot of really good TV time and we had a nice time with our son Joel and talking to our other son William and our daughter Mary and her friends in Portland. So we had a great time. I hope you had lots of time with family and friends too. And I was really happy to get back into doing my cards, although I did cards, you know, while Jeff was here. It was just that I couldn't get everything done. But I got a lot of organizing done. That was kind of exciting. And then I also got some of the new stamps that are available in the, I keep calling it celebrations. It's actually occasions. I remembered the occasions catalog. Usually it's on the cover of the catalog. Okay, it isn't. I don't know why they didn't put it on there, but they didn't. For people like me who are very visual, I can hear it a bunch of times and I won't recognize what it is until I have seen it. So anyway, I'm just kind of chatting to see if people are getting online, and I'll keep checking that. I hope somebody is, but if not, we're going to do Botanical Bliss today. And this is a stamp set that's in the regular catalog, and I'm going to just keep talking about that occasions one as I do this set. This is actually one of my favorite ones. It comes with a really cool framelit set, which I'm not going to use today, but I will in the future because it's really pretty. It makes nice bookmarks and envelope and, you know, flaps and all kinds of stuff. So anyhow, I'm going to flip the camera around. Hopefully that won't interfere with anyone. And if you're watching, please go ahead and share my videos. I am still doing the weekly thing where I draw the names of people who shared out of a basket. And then I send you something really cool if you win that. I didn't do my drawing, I think, for the last couple of weeks just because with it being the holidays and all, I just didn't really get to it. But anyhow, I am going to continue to do that. I just didn't for vacation time. And anyhow, the other thing is that I wanted to make sure people know that I'm having some classes in the next month, so please register for those so that I know how many to plan for, because I have to cut things out for that. And we're going to do a class on, let's see, so classes are January 18 and 19 this month at 10 a.m. and this is a Friday, that's a Saturday. This one's going to be our pet lovers class, and I'll show you cards for that on a Facebook post later. And then also I'm going to do one on January 25 and 26, which is also a Friday and Saturday at 10 a.m. These are the same class, so you would only want to take one of those. This one's going to be our Valentine's one, and I'm really excited about the Valentine's Be Not Mine stamp. Actually, it's a suite, has a stamp set and some of the nicest framelits and thinlits that I've seen. So I'm really excited to share those too. But you can register for those on my website when I get it up. I'm not even sure if I have those links up yet, but they will be very soon. So the class the card that we're going to make today, I think I put my sample away. I kind of started it and then didn't quite finish it because I wanted to get going here. But it's just using this Botanical Bliss stamp set, and it's just a really quick, simple card. So this is going to go pretty fast. And the colors that we're using are Petal Pink is the pink. The tan color is Crumb Cake. And we're just using the Calypso Coral ink just to get a little bit darker impression than the Petal Pink would be. And Crumb Cake ink. And And then we're also just using 2 stamp sets. So you could make this card just using these 2 stamp sets. This is a background one, handwritten, that's we're going to use the Stamparatus with, so you can see how well that works. I love the little vine on this one too. You can use all of these little stamps separately. They're really cute. So I think you're going to really like that stamp set if you buy it. So again, you can just use my Shop Now button anytime to buy stuff in the Stampin' Up! Store. If you're using that Shop Now button, it goes to me, and if you make sure you check out as a human and not as a guest, then I know that you've ordered something, and I always send people who order things a little gift. And also right now is celebration time, and really quick, I should probably mention our celebration. When you order, you get a lot of extra stuff. So right now, whenever you order, all year long, whenever you order things, you get 10%, up to possibly 12% if it's a 300. But let's say you order $150 worth of supplies, you and your friends. You get an extra 10% of stuff all the time for free through Stampin' Up! But during celebration time, you actually also earn other things. So if you had $150 in sales, you would also be able to pick 2 or 3 or 4 or 3, I guess, of these level 1 items. And there are stamp sets, ribbons, paper, little butterfly elements, and these are all the stamp sets that are really cute. That is a level 1 thing that are free. If you buy just $50 worth of product, you get these stamp sets for free. And then they only have 2, I think, level 2 stamp sets. There's these, actually it's a framelit rather than a stamp set. That's really nice. It pairs with the stamp set that's available in our occasions catalog. And this stamp set, let me just show it to you really quick. I love it. This would be free with a $100 purchase, and you get lots of different sentiments that you can use in all kinds of ways. And I'm going to be making cards with this lily. It has this little translucent petal, and you can see it's beautiful. And it also is a photopolymer one, so they're really easy to do for 2-stage stamping and whatnot. So anyhow, I'm really excited about that. If you host a class, you also get an extra $25. Now let's say you love Stampin' Up! As much as I do, and you want as much bang for your buck, then in that case you're going to want to email me, message me that you want to join, and you get $175 worth of products for $129. How good is that? You get this cool bag also, which I had to buy. You get it for free if you join Stampin' Up! Right now. Okay, so that is enough of all of that. And now I want to just go ahead and make a card that's going to open like a portrait card. So I'm going to just cut my crumb cake cardstock in half at 5.5 inches. And then we'll just score that at 4 1/4 so I can, oops, let me get my little scoring blade going here so I can fold that. Oops, that didn't look like quite half. Let's see if it did. Oh, good, it did. And I do have a bone folder. I should probably get it out. I always forget to, but anyhow, so our card is just going to go on that. And then for I'm going to set these crumb cake pieces aside because we're going to be using those, but I want to get going on this background stamp. Now this is called the handwritten stamp. It's called a stamp set. It's clear, and that just means it's rubber. They call the clear stamps, the rubber stamps, they call them clear. These are rubber. the actual, what I would call a clear stamp, they call those the photopolymer stamps, okay? Because that's, I'm sure, what it's made of, but it always is a little confusing to me when they call the rubber stamps clear stamps, because to me, a clear stamp would actually be clear. You could see through it, but that's not the case in the stamping world. So anyhow, let me, oh, Aunt Connie, are you there? Is that you? I think I saw somebody there. Thank you. I hope you guys had a good Christmas. It looked like you had lots of fun. You even got to go to Santa's workshop. That would have been nice. I would have liked that. This would have been the one year that would have been good for us to have gone somewhere, because it was, I think it was not too snowy and scary for driving, even for me, almost anywhere, but I'm such a chicken. I don't go anywhere during Christmas time. Okay, so I'm going to use this Stamparatus to do this background stamp, because a lot of times when I'm doing a stamp that's this big, I screw it all up. It's hard to get a really good impression in the middle of a big stamp, okay? So this is one time that you definitely want your Stamparatus. And to be perfectly honest with you, you can choose to not buy any of these acrylic blocks and only buy your Stamparatus, and you will have every stamp you need right here in your Stamparatus. It comes with two stamping plates, and later I'm going to show you why, not today, but on another video, I'll show you why that's useful. But it's just nice to be able to secure your card. You can just stick it right in here. Now I want to make sure it's good to do a bigger piece. Let me grab really quick a bigger piece of cardstock. It's easier for me to use a bigger piece, because then I'll see all these my little magnets on the back. It comes with these little magnets, and I've added some washi tape so that I can grab them without, the magnets are really strong. It holds your paper down here very nicely so that you can keep stamping and it won't budge. And then I'm just gonna stick my stamp right here where I'm going to want it, because I'm going to trim it down around the edges. And I'm kind of sticking it out here in the middle of this card because from experience, this hinge, it's not connected. But where the plate is connected to your hinge, it sometimes is a problem in stamping. And I also forgot to remove my foam pad. It comes with this foam pad for your photopolymer stamps. That's really useful, but this one has cushioning on it because it's a rubber stamp, so I don't need that. So you just position your stamp where you want it on your paper, and then you can push your plate down on top, and it's going to pick it right up, and this is going to stay all stationary. But you know what? I already see I smudged it there with some, I was doing some embossing earlier today, and I got powder and gunk all over, and I should probably put a new thing there. Okay, so now we have a nice clean side. Now these magnets are really strong. As you just saw, they attract each other, and if they cling together like they just did, sometimes they can break. I broke one of mine, a little piece of it off, but you can buy the replacements, but you don't need to do that. If you're careful, you won't ever need to do that. When you're stamping on your Stamparatus, you should use your case to put it underneath your hinge so that you're not pressing on that plastic, because you do want to press down to get all your ink on here. Now, if I don't ink this up good enough, I'm going to be able to just stamp right back into place. And you're going to see what I mean. I'm going to press pretty good, but I suspect I won't like the impression. Actually, that looks pretty good. I'm going to do it just a little bit more just to get it a little bit darker, because this is going to be behind stuff. I want it to show really well. So I'm going to just do that in there. So you can see you get, you can keep going. I could get it darker if I want, but that's perfect. And so I need to put all my little goodies away. So let me put my magnets away and let me clean my stamp off before I put it in. This is our Simply Chamois. It's a really good cleaning, kind of like a sponge, but it's different than any sponge I've had. It actually cleans really well, and I don't use soap or anything. It's just water, and so it keeps your stamps nice, and the Simply Chamois, it stays nice too. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back in my stamp case. Get this out of the way. This handwritten has thank you, happy, hello, amour, courage. It has like a smile, congratulations. It has all these different words written. Bien. They even have some foreign ones in there. Merci, merci. I don't know. I don't speak French. I believe that's, you know, pardon me or whatever. Actually, mercy probably is the translation literally, but I don't need to worry about that. Okay, so that is a good background stamp, though, for any kind of a happy card. And that's what we're doing right now, is a happy birthday card. Although I could make it an especially for you or a friend or a best wishes one. Those are all the different sentiments that that stamp set comes with. So I'm going to put that crumb cake away because I don't think I'm using it anymore. And let me find my card dimensions really quickly, because I did actually wrote it down today, surprisingly enough. So we are going to want to cut this base a 5 1/4 by 4 inches. And you know, I could go ahead and do it. I suppose I should, since I just told you what it was, but I almost shudder to do it because, frankly, I like to just, well, I did measure it. It should, let's hope I measured it correctly. They always say measure 2 times, right? So 5 1/4, I'm going to start off by just shearing off a little bit, and we're going to go little bit by little bit so that I don't take more off than I want to. But I know I'm going to take some of the words off, so I'm not going to be too worried about that. But this side is going to be 4 1/4, so I don't want to go too short. And that would be 4 1/4. So see, I shouldn't have taken as much off that other edge, but that's okay. In fact, I might even just make it a little shorter. Let's look here, because I probably would have room to do it. Let's test it on the actual card I'm going to put it on. Oh yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. So I measured, but as you can see, I am going to want to take it. This is the way it is with measurements. So I can measure it and give you measurements, and you can follow those religiously, but the best way is to just work with what you've got. Layer it on there. See if that is exactly the size you want, because it's not. I took off just a tiny bit more, and yet I'm going to want even a little bit more off. So, and we're ending up actually with 4 inches there instead of 4 1/4. I suspected as much. And then on the bottom, we want 5 1/2. And let's see what we have. We have 5 1/2, but I want it to be a little bit more than that. So we'll take 5 1/4 and see what that looks like. Nope, not enough. Okay. Well, that's 5 1/4. Let's take some from the bottom. Okay, that was a bunch. This should be plenty now. Yes. That was plenty. Okay, so we're going to put some rubber cement. This is my secret weapon, rubber cement. No one uses it but me. But it's a little smelly, but it goes on very quickly. It rubs off so that it's clear. The only problem with rubber cement is it can interact badly with any other kind of adhesive you have. If you have a different kind than rubber cement, that is a problem. So for me, it's going to work out fine because I know how to avoid that. You just make sure it's dry. It only interacts badly when it's wet. So don't ever do it on glitter paper is basically the upshot of that, because your glitter will all fall off. If not right away, it will in time. So, okay, and then our petal pink piece, we're gonna do this little petal pink just kind of askew on this card. And this piece is 2 3/4 by 4 1/2. I've measured it. It was fine for this card. You know, the dimensions look the same, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead and cut it, and we'll see if it was actually correct. But first, I'm going to cut this card like this, because I want to save this one piece. I'm going to do another card with this piece another time. So we'll put that way. And then we're going to cut this, so 4.5 inches. I'm going to go a little bigger just to be sure. I just don't trust my measurements. And then 2 3/4. I think I'm pretty safe with that measurement. Now I did do it a little long just because I wanted to see what that would look like. See, I like that. I like that measurement. So that one was not what I had written down. This was actually 4 3/4. So 2 3/4 by 4 3/4. And then that base is going to just be stuck on kind of like this. Sort of caterwonky, if that's a word. It's probably not a real word. All right, and then we're going to just go ahead and build up this card. Now we're going to stick this on with a button, and I think we'll want to put dimensionals on it. But I want to start with the white, because then I'm going to just layer it on and cut it as I go. Because I have all these dimensions written down, but like I said, and as you just noticed, my measuring ability is limited. So let's start with this piece. Whisper White. Now we're using Calypso Coral for the ink. It's even though the cardstock that we're using is petal pink, I don't want it to match exactly. I want it to be a little bit darker. And if I you know, I can get grab a bigger ink acrylic block. I could have used the Stamparatus, but with this one, because there's so many different pieces, you can just sort of build your design right on here. Let's see, this one's going at the top. Oops, going at the top like this. And this one's going on that side. There's my happy birthday. Okay, so I can just sort of position it, and that way I don't have to keep stamping different ones. I can stick them all on this block and get them to be approximately the size that I want it to be. Okay, and then these come in all punched out, these stamps. This is one that I haven't trimmed. A couple of them I have not trimmed yet. I haven't even ever used this one. But a word for you of warning. These edges don't look all that tidy, but that's because if I had not trimmed them, when I push down, sometimes you get an edge of that rubber stamp. I'm talking about this part that's sticking out from the actual design. And so I have never used this stamp yet, so I haven't actually trimmed this one down. And you do have to be careful, because you don't want to go into your design. You also don't want to go so close to it that the foam pad isn't right behind your design, like I kind of did there a little bit. But you do want to get as close as as George Bush would say, the senior one, prudently, is as close as it would be prudent to do it, because you don't want your ink getting on these edges and making a sloppy mess of your design. So don't be afraid to cut your stamps as needed. In fact, yeah, I frequently am altering my stamps a little bit because I like to make them more usable sometimes than they were when they arrived. Okay, so I'm gonna just ink this up. I don't have to worry about it being too inky. Since I'm doing it this way, if I don't like what I'm doing, I'm gonna have to get out a new paper. If I had my Stamparatus, see, I wouldn't even have to worry. I could just stamp again. But voila, that looks pretty good. All right, so let me close up my ink pad before I stick my finger into it. And again, that was Calypso Coral. And let me clean off my stamps. It's very easy to do. And then these just peel off. Okay, stick around because I want to show you something as far as the new stamps go, because the new clear rubber stamps that Stampin' Up! Is doing has a super sticky backing, so they will actually stick to these acrylic blocks. These that came in last year's pack, or even some of the new ones that you're going to buy that are from the from our annual catalog. Let me grab it here so you see what I'm talking about. Our annual catalog. These stamps, most of them are, unless, I don't know when they're going to change over all of the stamps, but it's likely that these old ones you're going to get are a smooth rubber or plastic label. You're going to stick that label on, and then these don't stick all that well. So Stampin' Up! Finally got a adhesive that they liked and made these super sticky. Until you get the super sticky ones, you can use some stencil adhesive. It's a repositional adhesive, and that's what I do to make mine sticky. But the new Stampin' Up! Stamps are very sticky, so you have to be careful about putting on your labels. And I want to show you a way to do that that you're gonna be happy with, because if you make a mistake putting those labels on, you're not going to be able to get the label back off again. The old ones you could, but these new ones you can't. You'll ruin your stamp trying to do that. So let me show you how to do it. And all I'm doing is just showing you what Stampin' Up! Has their own video that they made. If you go to stampinup.com, you can find the video that shows you, or if you go to YouTube even, actually that's probably the easiest way to find it. If you go to YouTube and type in Stampin' Up! Repositionable stamp or something like that, or new cling stamps, that's what you should put in. Stampin' Up! New cling stamp. Then you're going to get a video that shows you. But I'm going to do it just in case you're not sure what you're doing, and I thought it would be helpful. So I'm going to just layer my cards. So as you see, I didn't measure it. This one is supposedly 3 1/4, or excuse me, it's 2 7/8 by 2 7/8 by 3 3 3 but instead of measuring it, I just cut it where I wanted it, and then I don't even have to worry about measurements so much, because I know that this design is going to fit on that card, and then I don't have to worry about measuring any of my petal pink either. I'm just going to cut the petal pink to have the border that size that I want. It's going to be 3 7/8 by 3 inches supposedly. So this is 3 inches, and actually that looks pretty close to what I want. I'm going to move it out just a bit, just to make sure that it's, yeah, that is right where I want it. I'm going to move. This is the other thing about my rubber cement, is I can I can adjust just that a little bit. It's almost dry, but it's still a little wet, so I can adjust it. Okay, and then this side is 3 7/8, which would be here, and I can see that's not quite where I want it. It's close, but that's where I wanted it. And then this is going to go on another piece of crumb stock, or excuse me, crumb cake. Card stock is what I was thinking, crumb cake. And that's going to help it, you know, blend in better there. So let me move my cutting board for a second and get a little bit more rubber cement on the back of this. Okay, so also I know I mentioned that I'm having classes, and I put that up here. The Pet Lovers one is oh, so cute. There are 2 stamp sets. Excuse me, 3 stamp sets that have pets on them. Now, there are other animals that are available too, but the ones that I went to were the horse and the dog and the cat. And I did a cat one. It was called 9 Lives earlier this week, or I guess early last week on Monday. But the dog one is even better. I really like the dog one. So consider coming to a class. And with Celebration being such a great deal as it is, if you want to, instead of coming on the dates that I've got classes, you can host your own class. And I'll come to your house, or you can do it here. You invite your friends. You get an extra $25 worth of products just for hosting a class. So with Celebration, this is the time to do it. If you want the big shot or any other, you know, more expensive item in the catalog, this is the time to schedule your workshop with me. And then you get you can get $25 off of that, plus whatever your 10% of all of your sales are, and I will be happy to do the sales pitch with your friends. You don't have to feel awkward about it. It's not that big a deal. People actually like to help you out, so don't feel like that is a problem at all. And let's see. I think I want do I want dimensionals? I want to put this cute little button. This is the tinted faceted button. It comes in a variety of colors, but this is Grapefruit Grove, and it has, you know, I think it comes in 4 different colors, but I thought this would look really cute on the card right there. And I think I better stick a very sticky glue dot. Now, these glue dots I bought, I believe, at Joann Fabrics, and they have glue dots at Stampin' Up's catalog too, but these are a little bigger, and I need something fairly substantial to hold this button on. It's not heavy, but another thing, when you put your cards in the mail, if it has a button or something big like that that's sticking out, you're probably going to have to put extra postage. This one's pretty fat, so I'm going to have to put extra postage. If it was a little flatter, I could put bubble wrap on it and it would go through their machine just fine, but that's pretty fat, so that's not going to happen. I think we can use some dimensionals to stick this base on, and then I'm gonna stick this one together too. Where's this one? So we end up with 2 cards, 2 birthday cards ready to go, and all in probably about half an hour. So it doesn't take very long to do. When you're using 2 colors, it's really goes pretty quick, but I really like that background stamp. It's cute. And let me grab another glue dot for this tinted faceted button. And I'm doing pretty well on my diet still, but I was sad to see that I'd gained 1 pound over this weekend, and that was only from eating 1 piece of French toast and almost a whole piece of bacon. It wasn't even a whole piece of bacon, folks. I was just so disgusted with that, but that is reality. Some people have a very hard time losing weight, and I am one of those, but it's still coming off, and I'm very happy about that. So thank you, God. Please just keep it going, because it's I need the help. Okay, so the dimensionals is what we need, and then I'm gonna want to also put a white piece of cardstock like this inside, just to, in fact, let me just do this really quick. We'll trim this down and show you what I mean, because it's really makes a card nice if you can stamp a little something on the inside of your card. And I think we'll just go ahead and do that really quick, because I've got this little bird, and where's my grapefruit grove? Or no, my Calypso coral is the color we were using. There it is. Okay, so we'll just stamp this little bird. We'll do it right here. And something up here in the corner, probably that little flower. This set does also have a really nice vine, and I've used this vine before. It's really cute, but it's a little bit large. I don't really want that vine there, so we'll just go with this little flower and stick that up at the top. Let me make sure let's stamp it. Oh good, I did get it. I wasn't sure I had really gotten it good enough. Okay. And then that can go on the inside of the card, and that will be all finished. And almost ready to go for a birthday. I do a lot of birthday cards because in our, it's just a nice thing to be able to send from our church. There are a lot of people out there, you know, who never get a birthday card. So I actually have a niece, I think, who's having or not a niece, a cousin. I believe she is having a birthday this week. So hopefully she got her birthday card, or is gonna get it pretty soon. Okay, so there you go. And I still haven't even done the the main bit. Let's get those dimensionals on and we'll get that finished, and it's ready to go. And no, so maybe you'll get this card, who knows? So what you should do is message me and say you would like my newsletter. In my newsletter, I send directions for the cards that I do here, but also other ones that I don't do on Facebook, because this just happens to be what I wanted to work on today. And you also have a chance to win things that you wouldn't hear about on Facebook. And you know about my classes if you take my newsletter. So there we go. Cute little card, isn't it? All right, so we're going to switch ourselves up here and see what the day looks like today. All right, it looks like it's pretty nice out there. It's sunny. I definitely am going to go out and get some pruning done, even though our trash is filled with boxes from Christmas. But I'm going to get a bunch of pruning done. And I hope you have a great day and that it is sunny and nice where you are too. Bye. Bye. Oh, Dan is there. My Aunt Connie. Nice to see you guys. God bless. Bye.